Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm back. It's your boy Sam, and today we're gonna be kind of switching up the YouTube channel. I already recorded a video before this, but we are going to actually switch up the YouTube channel and kind of go away from the singing videos that I used to post. It's been like 2 years since I've fully gotten back on YouTube, and we're gonna go with something that's been kind of, I've been kind of passionate about ever since I turned 18, and that's credit, and that is finance, and that is working, and, money. Anything with money, I've really kind of been like, I've been passionate on that subject. So today, we are going to talk about what is a credit score. Well, a credit score, it's really hard to, buy stuff these days. Cars, houses, things like that, without a credit score. It just is, unless you have the physical money and you're that good of a saver to pay everything in full when you get it, which it's really hard to do with a mortgage. Okay, so, it's really hard to do. But, I mean, I've seen people do it. But the vast majority of people, they're going to want to put things on credit and make payments on it. It's just the way that it works, including me. I like doing that. So we're going to talk about what is a Fico score. And a Fico score is the term for a credit score. And I'm going to kind of go through the percentages and everything and kind of explain to y'all kind of, how the system has worked. I'm very motivated by a lot of personal finance YouTubers. I'm just starting this journey of personal finance on YouTube. I don't know where it'll take me or whatever, but so I'm looking forward to this channel and the potential growth that it has. So, FICO score. What's a FICO score? So, a FICO score is calculated, and it uses 5 different pieces of, credit data in your credit report. The first thing is 10% of your credit score is made up of new credit or hard inquiries. And what that basically means is those of you that have never had a credit card or never had a house or whatever, or if you even had a credit card and you're applying for multiple, it'll actually do a hard pull or hard inquiry on your credit report, which will drop your score down by 5-6 points. And over the course of a couple of years, that goes away. And that makes up 10% of it, which is not much. It's the smallest makeup percentage of your credit report. So that's what new credit is. It does drop your score temporarily, but your payment history and everything, that's going to more than make up for it very, very quickly. 15% of your credit report is your length of your credit history. So that pretty much means is what's your average length. Now, I started my credit journey back in December of 2020. It was a couple months after I turned 18, and I went down to my local credit union and got my first credit card. It had no rewards on it. It was just a straight card with a $2,000 limit that my dad co-authorized, which I do recommend if you do start the credit card, which is another video for another time, but I do recommend that if you start your credit card journey, if you can go get an authorized user with a good credit history, that will boost your credit score highly, highly quickly. And you'll get kind of a higher score in a quicker time if you choose to go that route. But, like I was saying, the length of credit history. So, December 2020 was the first credit card I ever had. And then I got one in June of 2021, October of 2021, December of 2021, March of this year, and July of this year are my credit cards that I've had. And I will go through my credit cards in another video. But pretty much every time you apply for new credit or a hard inquiry is pulled, it will decrease. So my oldest card, which I still have open to this day, is coming on its 2-year-old birthday. His birthday 2 years old, okay, in December. But my latest credit card is only 3 months old right now, and everything in between. So your average age of your credit, your length of your credit history, your average age of it is not going to be that much, which does affect your credit score slightly. So yeah, if that makes sense. The next thing we're going to talk about is credit mix, or the types of credit that you have. That makes up 10% of your credit report. And so pretty much what that is you have credit cards, you have a car loan, you have a mortgage, you have a personal loan, whatever. You need to, me personally, this is why, one of the reasons why I actually bought a new truck. Back in July, I was thinking about trading in my old truck for something newer, something with 4 doors and a 4-wheel drive, which neither was on my old truck, okay? So, I went down to a local auto shop and kind of was looking at trucks, and I found something that I liked, and it actually boosted my credit score, which I think is the reason it didn't go down that far when I first applied for it, because there is definitely a loan on that truck, if you know what I mean. And, one of the reasons I think it didn't go down so much is because it did help, because that's an extra thing of credit. I don't have a mortgage. I'm lucky enough to still be living at home with amazing parents at 20 years old. But I do work my butt off. I've got 2 jobs, 65 hours a week, and I'm going to try and start doing YouTube again. It's tough. It is very tough, but, I try and do, I work, I work a lot to, get where I am. But basically, credit mix, it's better to have multiple forms of credit than just 1 or 2 credit cards, and that's it. A car loan, mortgage, that does help your credit score in the long run. It only makes up about 10%, but in the long run, that does help your credit score. The next thing we're going to talk about is amounts owed, which is your debt on it is your credit utilization, okay? And that is pretty much how much total line of your personal loan, your credit, your personal loan, your personal loan, your car loan, your personal loan or your credit cards. Something that you're personally taking out as the revolving lines of credit. If that makes sense. So pretty much, we'll put it to you this way. So, for example, say that you had a card with a $6,000 limit, okay? And you spent 25, well, let's do something easier for the math. Say you spent 2,000 out of the 6,000, 2,000 out of the 6,000. That means your credit utilization, 2 over 6, is 1/3, which is 33%. So your credit utilization on that card, if you've used 2,000 and you're carrying a balance, and you're going from month to month, and once that statement gets reported to the credit bureaus, it'll do 2,000 divided by 6,000. And your credit utilization for that would be 3,000. But say you had a card with a $10,000 limit, and you carried a balance, or you had a statement balance of $2,000. Well, that goes from 33% down to 20%. And you want to keep your credit below 30%, the utilization of your credit cards and personal loans under 30%. And it's even better to give it below 10%. Me personally, the amount of credit cards I have, I've got a lot of credit available to me. Okay, I can tell you how much, but I'm not really, not at that point yet where I want to discuss that. But down the road, stay tuned for that video. But I do have some credit available to me, and I don't use very much of it. I do use some, but I don't use much. I use about 18%. Right now, it's about 18% of my credit utilization, which is very, very good. 10%, your score gets going up. In my opinion, if I was going to recommend, if you're wanting to do a perfect 850 as quickly as possible, keep that credit below 10%. Me personally, I like to use my credit to build my wealth, if that makes sense. So I keep it 15 to 18%, somewhere in there. So yeah, that's kind of the way that it works. And there have been times I've carried balances, but most of them are on 0% APR, and that's kind of on bigger purchases. Like, for example, I have the Discover It cashback card, and I got it in December of 2020, and I put all my Christmas purchases, or December 2021, I'm sorry. I put all my Christmas purchases last year on that card and financed them. No balance on the card now. So it's just that kind of thing. And now, the biggest thing that makes up your credit score, which makes up 35% of your payment history, 35% of your credit score is your payment history. And that is your on-time payments. So say you've had, now me personally, with 6 credit cards, and I use all of them every month. Most of them, actually, what I actually normally do is I've got a safe I bought. Not this one. This one back up here is my dad's. But over in another part of the house, I've got a safe that's personally to me, and I keep a couple credit cards in there throughout the months. And I personally like to get value out of my cards. I don't have cards that earn like 1% cash back or whatever. I like to get actual value out of my cards. Like for example, one card I do have is the Best Buy Everywhere Visa card. Okay, and once or twice a month, I'll take my parents out to eat. Okay, and I'll pay for it, and I'll use that card. That's only $70. It's only a $70 bill every month that I pay, and I pay every month. And but there's other cards, like, because now since I've gotten the truck, I've kept my credit card bills down. Okay, the truck is pretty expensive from month to month, for me anyway. So I've kept my credit down in that department. So, but for the most part, I do use credit. Like, for example, if I'm getting gas, I would put it on a credit card. That's one thing I use my debit card for, is getting gas. Yes, yes, there's cards that you can get 3% cash back or 4% or whatever. I just, I use credit cards for other things. One of the things I use credit cards for is to pay bills. Okay, most of my bills, like my phone bill, my YouTube TV bill, because I don't have cable, I use YouTube TV, and I pay for it. My YouTube TV, my Netflix, Hulu, all these streaming services, and my phone bill are all on credit cards. And couple reasons for that. And other than that, I'm not really using those cards all that much. So anyway, 35% payment history. That is so if you have like 100 payments a year, which me personally, I have 84 payments a year. Starting 2023, I'll have 84 payments across my credit. And, I've had credit started for 2 years, have not missed a payment one time. And that is paying at least the minimum payment. Me personally, I don't look at the minimum payment. I look at how much can I afford, to, pay the bill. Payment history does not mean paying the card off 100%. It does mean, though, that you're making at least the minimum payment by the payment due date. If you are late on your payment by more than 30 days, it will drop your credit score significantly. Okay? Even if you have 83, let me do the math on that. If you do 83, okay? And let me see if I can find my calculator real quick. Let me see if I can find my calculator here on my iPad. 84 divided by 85, okay? Or 83 divided by 84. Okay? So that right there is a 98.8% payment. Okay, that's 98, almost 99% of the time you're making a payment. If it's not 100%, it's going to significantly decrease by like 20, 30 points. Now, the earlier you can get that late payment paid off, the better. Because if you're doing 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you could be triggered into a lawsuit by one of the credit card companies. You could be, credit card companies, they issue you money, but they don't want you to run away with the money and never spend it. So, basically, that's kind of the in-depth, kind of what's going on with the credit. Pretty much what I'm saying is every single time you can, make that payment. The more payments you make every year, the higher your credit score is going to be. Pretty much is that the way it is. And it needs to be on time. But So, pretty much, 10% new credit, hard inquiries, doesn't make up too much of your credit. 15% length of credit history, that is your average age of your credit. 10% credit mix, your mortgage, car, credit card, personal loans, things like that. It's good to have multiple lines of credit and not just a credit card or a personal loan or something like that. Payment history, 35%, the most important, and that, that will take into account every on-time payment you've had. The more on-time payments you have had, the better off you'll be. Ideally, 100% payment history to get the best results. And 30% amounts owed, which is your credit utilization. Keep that below 30%. And if you want to do even better than that, below 10%. So I hope this kind of opens it up. I know I kind of, talked a little bit about my personal journey, and I'll be more in-depth about that in other videos. But I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.